running here for the next 45 minutes or so, is we're going to do 610, jump to 555, and 611 last. Okay.
611.
So 610 is on the docket right now. Do we have any amendments on 610 floating around? Okay, Representative Bell.
I move that we, on House Bill 610, out of pass.
Representative Grenier seconds the motion. Representative Malcolm makes a motion to pass on 610 relative to the school board vote on reassignment of a pupil, and second by Representative Grenier. Discussion.
Okay, very quick discussion. It's an advantage for the pupil if the pupil wants to make that move or the parent do. As long as the school boards don't object, that's accounted for in here. So it looks like it's good for everybody. There's no fiscal note attached, so I feel safe.
Does the second have
Yeah, just quickly, I mean, from our experience, we got the policy, and the first thing we recognized, wait a minute, we do this. So we actually put it into our policy to do it. I think that was an oversight originally, and we just need to fix it. It's a good bill, and we should just get done with it, and I'll be quiet.
further discussion? Not hearing any, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Yes. Representative Belvin.
Yes?
Representative Bowman. Representative Octapas. I'm sorry. Representative Cordelli.
Yes.
I'm not done with it yet. I have to put the
Oh.
information on it. Representative Cordelli.
Yes.
Representative Grenier.
Yes?
Representative Elliott.
Yes.
Representative Adams.
Yes.
Representative Cook.
Yes.
Representative Moore.
Yes.
Representative Osborne.
Yes.
Representative Sullivan.
Yes.
Representative Wolf.
Yes.
Representative Guile.
Yes.
Representative Shaw, yes. Representative Gorman. Representative Frazier.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Myler.
Yes.
Representative Rolo.
Yes.
Representative Heath.
Yes.
Representative Sharon.
Yes.
Representative Ladd.
Yes.
21-0.
Really?
Consent?
Consent?
Yes.
Congratulations,
Our
folks.
private funds.
That's amazing.
Okay, we're jumping to HB 555, relative to participation of charter public school students in school district co-curricular activities. Do we have any amendments floating around? We have one that's coming around.
Oh, he needs one more back here.
Sorry.
I don't remember what I wrote.
Representative Sullivan, you haven't signed it yet.
Okay, does everybody have a copy?
We're
We don't have a meeting. Do I see any violent reactions here? Okay,
Who's gonna pay for it? Well, I should put up my hand and ask this question. Yes, when you open it up and say that students who are homeschooled, which I know in Concord they already are, can have access to curricular courses, co-curricular programs in sports and music, and all of the supplementary activities that are offered in our public schools. But that there's a cost entailed in it. And so, pay for it. I know, because my children and grandchildren engage in music and sports programs. As a parent, we had to pay fees so that they could have uniforms. We had to have a parent group that got together and raised money for the football team. I mean, there's money involved here. And there's no fiscal note.
Well, I think that you,
wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah, we don't have a motion yet.
Well, we don't have a motion, and so before we get into a great discussion here, perhaps we need to put this thing on the floor. So, Representative Cordelli?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to move, ought to pass on the amendment, which is number 0696H.
And is there a second? Representative Wolf?
Yes, I just was
Representative
gonna,
Shaw?
I was just gonna comment that, this would be subject to the same rules that the school kids have to do. If they have to pay for, if they have to pay for sports, then these kids would have to pay for the sports too. So I think that's understood.
Oh, wait a minute, I recognize you, so you want to respond? Representative Cordelli?
Let me just explain the amendment first, if I could. The original bill was in a different section, the section related to charter school pupils. This moves it to the section that already is in the statute that pertains to non-public and home-educated pupils. So it basically just says non-public, chartered school, or home-educated pupils can participate.
You explained it to me, and so I
Right.
apologize for not having the opportunity to do that. Further discussion, Representative Bowman.
Yes, back to the financial part. NHIAA already has rules on sports and how many can participate, so that's already in the school's budget on whether it's 12 people on the basketball team or X number on the volleyball team, so that's already in the school's budget. If the schools have, and some schools don't, some schools do, have a participation fee, then of course it's for the student, whether a homeschool student or a charter school student or a private school student that wants to participate, they also would have to pay that participation fee. So there should not be any additional.
Thank you. Representative Miley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also presume here that if a charter school, homeschool child wants to participate on a sport and there's an issue of being able to make the team,
They have to make the team.
they have to make the team just like any other players. There's not a preferential
That's right.
treatment given to any of these categories. So I don't have any problem with this, because I do think, as noted, that if there are fees that have got to be charged in order to participate, they'd be in the same category as any other student that wanted to participate.
Representative Gorman.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I spoke to a superintendent about this, and he believes that what is problematic is the term programs, because in some schools, the basic list of courses is under the umbrella and identified as a program of studies. So he was concerned about children taking all courses at a school under, it's a program, but yet being enrolled in the community of a charter school or a homeschool. Also, a charter school and a public school may have very different schedules. For instance, in Nashua, all the clubs meet at the E Block, and so therefore, who's going to pay for transportation from the charter school to the public school? Also, there are, and I realize this is a scenario that may or may not occur, but in some districts, in contracts, you have limits of class size, and if it goes over, number one, that may violate a contract, and also tax the resources of the school district. And it's probably an extreme case, but I think that certainly is a possibility, maybe not a probability. And so, I'm curious about the concept of time, and what about reciprocity? What about a public school student who wants to go to a charter school for a particular course? I don't think that is addressed here. And I think we're talking choice in regard to the communities that they wish their children to be presented. So I will, I think there are a lot of questions yet to be answered.
Representative Gorman, thank you very much. Representative Cordelli.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2 points in relation to charter schools. I just wanted to mention that we just talked about the bill related to suspensions and expulsions. And I talked to Charter School Association head, and charter schools would even be willing to accept, in some circumstances, children who were expelled from the traditional public school. They would be open to that. In relation to this, I think it's maybe an oversight in the statute, but I think it's certainly a fairness issue. That child in the resident district is a public school child. It's a public charter school. And I think that public school child should have the same privileges as the traditional public school child, certainly in addition to any homeschool or non-private school. I think that it's certainly an equal education issue and a fairness issue.
Further question, Representative Bershman, you had your hand up?
I just want to chime in to support what Representative Cordelli just said. I think it is a public school, and we offer those services to public school students. So as a matter of principle, I think this bill is correct, and the issues that you raised, Representative Gorman, I think are legitimate, but fringe on the edge that can be resolved once this principle is established. But I would like to work with you on a bill to establish reciprocity.
I'm up to that.
Any challenge, right? We love it. Representative Grenier. Then Representative Guile, and then Representative Paul.
I can only think of this in terms of homeschool kids that we have, and we do have them that don't have a shadow experience. And all I can say about this is terms of these children, because they live in the town, they know a lot of the students, they happen to be homeschooled. It's just not a concern. It works well, everyone's happy. The issue, though, that, and I believe it's a fringe issue, and maybe they could address it in the Senate, regarding the matter of someone being full-time at a charter school and then coming and taking perhaps 2 or 3 classes at the public school. Then we get into this issue of adequacy and payment, and maybe that needs to be addressed. I only say that I think we're trying to find micro issues here that perhaps are true, but I think in the overall value of this, I don't think it's a problem, except maybe in the Senate, someone will need to look at it.
We have a bill on that.
Yeah. Okay, well, if there's a bill, well, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we had Representative Guile was next.
Right, I think if money were no issue, I would have no problem with this. But I received this letter, which probably all of you received, and it said, you know, this bill worsens the problems that our public schools face, doing more with less. Our public schools are under incredible stress relative to raising local tax dollars to provide the basics. I mean, every day we hear about districts that are cutting out their sports, cutting out their music, cutting out their arts. A charter school student, when leaving the public school, takes with him or her the state adequacy funds plus $2,000 per child. Funds that the public school uses to develop and offer a well-rounded learning experience, complete with curriculum and activities that they can afford. All I'm saying is it's a good idea, but there should be a fiscal, there should be something relative to the cost involved.
Representative Baum, then
Yes.
Representative Adams.
Back to the financial bit. Remember, these are local students that live in that public school district. Whether they're homeschooled or charter schools, they're still paying local property taxes to that local school district, which is why we don't have a problem with them for homeschool students. Same way with charter school students. And like I said before, with sports and whatnot, they still have to make the team, whether or not, you know, and so they're competing with, they still have to maintain their grades, just have to have the same requirements, just like the homeschool bill says, you know, to to participate. So I don't think there really is any financial, because it's already in the budget for how many kids can be on the team, you know, and whatnot, and for clubs and whatnot, they already paying the stipend and one or two more kids in a club. I think it benefits the club, not hurts it. So I don't really see that there being a financial issue.
I know there is a bill, there was one in the Senate, I don't know the status of it, for homeschool kids which come in and take courses in the regular school, a proportion would be reimbursed. Now, I don't know where that's going, or what's happened. I know Mr. Mitchner would know. Where's that right now?
Passed the Senate, was referred to finance.
Thank you.
So it's in Senate finance.
So Representative Adams.
I just want to echo what Representative Bowman said. These programs that these children will be attending will be fully funded already by the districts, right? They're in existence. They're clubs that perchance will actually be benefited by, you know, the addition of another talented student added to it. You know, so you're broadening the educational experience of the children that belong to those clubs by having as many talented and interesting, diverse children in there. So I see no problem with this. As far as the fringing issues, I think those can be dealt with at the local level and through agreements between the receiving districts and the charter schools.
Further discussion? Not seeing any hands. Madam Clerk?
This is the amendment, ought to pass on amendment 0696H. Representative Falcom?
Yes.
Representative Bohm?
Yes.
Representative Cordelli? Yes. Representative Grenier?
Yes.
Representative Elliott?
Yes.
Representative Adams?
Yes.
Representative Cook?
Yes.
Representative Moore?
Yes.
Representative Osborne?
Yes.
Representative Sullivan?
Yes.
Representative Wolf?
Yes.
Representative Guile?
Sure.
Representative Shaw, yes. Representative Gorman?
Children descendant.
Representative Frazier?
No.
Representative Schmidt?
Yes.
Representative Myler?
Yes.
Representative Rolo?
No.
Representative Heath?
Yes.
Representative Rusharon?
Yes.
Representative Ladd?
Yes. Any objection, 18-2, putting it on
No.
consent?
Oh,
Or three? Let's go on consent. Oh, that's right, we gotta go to the next step. I'm trying to get this done by 11.
Foreman, Frazier, and Rolo.
Okay, now we need a motion, Representative Grenier, Cordelli, on the bill as amended. Excuse me, you had your hand?
Question on the last vote? What was the count? The count?
18-3.
18-3, okay, thank you.
Representative Cordelli.
Chair, I would like to move ought to pass as amended, House Bill 555.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Representative Cordelli, second by Representative Wolf. Further discussion? Yes, Representative Heath.
Like my brothers, I prefer to see this as a policy that would be adopted by local school districts. That said, I do believe we have wonderful examples, VLAX being one of our charters in our public school districts working mutually. And any step that takes us closer to providing services for all our children and our public school systems, public charters and our public schools is gonna benefit our children. So I will vote for this. I'm just concerned that our local school districts might see this as another mandated piece of legislation of telling them how to run their school districts.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Not seeing any hands. Madam Clerk?
Yes, this is ought to pass as amended with House Bill 555. Representative Falcom?
Yes.
Representative Bohm?
Yes.
Representative Cordelli? Yes. Representative Grenier?
Yes.
Representative Elliott? Representative Adams?
Yes.
Representative Cook?
Yes.
Representative Moore?
Yes.
Representative Osborne?
Yes.
Representative Sullivan?
Yes.
Representative Wolf?
Yes.
Representative Guile?
Yes.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Representative
agree
Shaw?
with
Yes.
Representative Heath.
Representative Gorman? Representative Frazier?
No.
Representative Schmidt?
Yes.
Representative Myler?
Yes.
Representative Rolo? Representative Heath?
Yes.
Representative Rusharon?
Yes.
Representative Ladd?
Yes.
18-3.
Thank you. Consent?
Yes.
Or we can cut it off.
Well, we can, but
If you object, we'll put it on.
we're still here, we wouldn't be allowed.
Who's here?
If you know who from last year was here.
Well, he's not, it's not his bill.
Hey, wait a minute. Representative Cordelli, do you have a blurb written?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good, I had one written for you already, so.
Yeah, this is not his bill. So we won't call it.
Let me show you this.
Okay.
I don't think it should be on from last year.
Okay, we will not put this on consent, there's objection.
Yeah, sometimes you want the public to know.
Nice to have a good debate. Okay,
That's a midnight.